Hello again, welcome back to Asgard, and welcome back to All the Mods Expert Remastered. So you can see there's a lot of bee work that's been done. I actually decided a little ways through to change up my original setup. Okay, let's start with the bug. I've been having an issue, and it's a bug, with industrial apiaries, and I think it has to do with maybe when the server restarts or something. I've got all these turned off right now. I've got them set to enable on redstone. Because what's been happening is these have been filling up, and then the queen disappears. Like, I think she gets pulled out. This one I actually just made, as well as this one. But I had all four of my queens disappear when I was offline. I got back online, and all my queens were gone from these. And then later on, these as well. This side actually happened twice on. So the apiaries were backing up, and it was just, the queen was disappearing. Okay. So... due to that, I do have these shut off for right now. Until we get them plugged up into our system, I've got those shut off. And also these back ones here, like I've got the Industrious here. I'm actually going to pull the Industrious out of these ones, or maybe vice versa. I don't know for sure. And I'm going to do just two, because it's more than enough pollen clusters, and it's more than enough Imperial or Royal Jelly, in truth, to keep us set for a while. And then this one up here is actually our emerald bees. And you'll notice right there, I had to run the conduits up because these emerald ones, if you take a look at their produce, you can see there's crystal comb right here, and then down here there's emerald fragment. This is like specialty produce kind of stuff. And in the case of this, you have to have an emerald block underneath it. If it was a diamond bee, you'd have to have a diamond block beneath it for them to produce the fragments. So that's why I've got this set up here. Because getting these emerald fragments, you can get the emerald fragments through the crystal comb, if you so desire. But the problem is, like, okay, you centrifuge it and you get crystal propolis, okay? And this stuff is already, let's see, for example, with the emerald, it's a 30% chance to get a crystal comb. Then you have a 50% chance to get crystal propolis. Then you have a 60% and a 30% chance to get crystal grains, and then you have to run it through a carpenter with water. 7 crystal grains for each emerald fragment. So it's easier just to put an emerald block down there. These crystal, I'm honestly probably just going to trash the crystal grains. I don't really need them. I don't think. So we do have emerald bees. Over here, this was actually kind of a byproduct bee that I got while breeding for other stuff. We have ruby bees. Over here, I'm actually breeding towards another emerald. But that's because I'm trying to get the emerald stats, because emerald has a chance to get... I've done a little bit of that, but emerald has a chance to get temperature +2 up and down, I think it is, and I really want that stat. I really, really want it. The ruby bee, for just for a heads up, is over here because it's actually too cold anywhere else that I have open for it to run, and I'm not for sure that I want to do an industrial apiary. I am going to keep like the Imperial, the Industrious, the Emerald, stuff that we're going to need. Like, I need emeralds, I need Royal Jelly, I need pollen clusters. So they're going in industrial apiaries, and there will be production upgrades and stuff like that, because we're going to want a lot of that stuff. But white honey drops, don't really want a whole lot of that. So I only have one apiary, just standard apiary setting here. I'm not putting any frames or anything like that into it. It's producing plenty for my needs, especially being on a server, you know. It's plenty. Over here we have blue. Here's green, and then yellow, and then we've got cyan, and... there's a lime. There's our lime-colored combs. And then there's black. Which you can see there's other combs in here. This is stuff that kind of popped up while I was breeding them, and I just haven't bothered to move it out. Oh, and then over here we have obsidian bees. I did not keep the hardened bees, which is the first, you know, you get hardened, then you get obsidian, then you get the redstone, then you get the emerald, and so on. I did not keep the hardened bees because they don't produce anything that I need at all. And they're also not used for any other future breeds, so I was just like, throw those away. Over here we have redstone, and then we have our common, our noble, cultivated, unweary, diligent, majestic, steadfast, and then that one's just empty. These I don't necessarily need, but I'm keeping them there just kind of for breeding purposes, honestly. Just have them running, it's extra honey coming in, and it's good for breeding stuff. But anyways, let's go ahead and get our lime-colored combs. And I also want to grab Just give me a few of these emerald fragments. And guess what we are going to do today? I've been breeding bees for so long, and it's finally about to pay off. I need to empty these things out. Pretty badly, in fact. Okay, I'm going to get these lime-colored combs running. And while we're waiting for that, let me pop back over to the blood magic area. I didn't bother pulling that second activation crystal out. Just left it in there for right now. And we are going to get the stuff that we need for our portal. In order to open our portal, right? So, let's see. We needed Terra Steel. We also need a mana pylon. Almost forgot about that. So 4 royal jelly, 2 star metal, 2 gold, and a resonating gem. Not terribly expensive. I don't know if I have... Yeah, I've got a couple of resonating gems right there. And then I'm going to need a couple pieces of star metal. Do I have that? I don't think so. Okay, so I'm flying out to find... well, I need to find iron along the way, but I'm flying out to find a place to make some star metal real quick. Because I actually forgot about that. I forgot I needed star metal, so... I'll be back in just a moment once I get this stuff together. Okay, I just made 4. I've got more ore on me, but I'm not going to make any more, and that's because we're going to automate that before long, like, fairly soon. So I'm not terribly concerned about it, in truth. Alright, so we got that. So let's go ahead. I'm going to put this iron in here for right now. And we'll get that smelting up real quick. There we go. There's that. And then we just need our 8 royal jelly, which is not a problem. Actually, when I went over there and I broke all the apiaries up, and I was using those queens and stuff, right, that came from those old apiaries. And, like, I've still got a few in here. If you look here, 768 generations in captivity. It's insane. It's insane. Okay, so we've got all of that stuff, and we should be able to craft up our mana pylons. There's 2 of those. And then for the Natura pylons, we just upgrade them. Let me just pop down here. And we'll lay this thing out. So Natura pylon. Natura pylon. And did that complete a quest, really? I don't even know where I put my quest book, honestly. Because I actually put the quest book down somewhere. I don't know where. And that's due to the fact... I think it's in here. No, it's not in there either. I put it down because I wasn't really doing any quests right now. Because we're kind of just working towards... What did I do with it? Right here. Okay. And we're about to do storage, so I just was like, I'm just going to put this here, and I'll be cleaning up chests soon, so... Is it under Be a Star? Maybe? Ah, yeah. Natura pylon. Each Gaia pylon needs to upgrade from one of these Natura pylons, and then we need 4 Gaia pylons to do the Gaia Guardian. Okay. Okay. Technically, we could really start working towards that soon. Never mind. Well, we could do the Empowered stuff. Ethereal Slate, we're going to need a little bit more. And then the Mirian ingots. Molten Mirian is liquid glass, cobalt, elementium, mana steel, and terra steel. Technically, after this episode, we could do that. So really, I mean, I guess we could be doing the Gaia Guardian fight soon. Before too long, but anyways, there is our Natura pylons. Let's pop over here, and I'm going to set these guys down. Well, actually, I'm going to wait just a minute to set those down. And then I'm also going to need that glimmering living wood. Kind of excited about this because we're about to have this thing. So 1 Terra Steel nugget, 2 lime colored honey drops each, and then 2 otherworld leaves each, and some living wood. Okay, that is not a problem. And let me go ahead and grab those extra emerald fragments. Okay, so the lime colored honey drops, there's those. And then I'm going to need otherworld leaves, and I only need like what, 6 of these? And then I'm going to need like 4 pieces of living wood for each of these, which is just treated wood. It's not really a big deal. I just hate having to make it manually right now. Which that's another thing that I can't find. These bees have like... I have their territory set up pretty high. So they make flowers like everywhere. There's that. And then we need the living wood. There's enough for 2. I need to get a little bit more treated wood planks. And then my terra steel, I think I put it in here, right? Yes. I need 2 pieces of that. Okay, so let me go get some more treated wood. think I've still got some more in here. Oh, yeah, there's a stack. Okay. I'll take the stack up there. I only need the 4 leftovers anyways, so. Okay. That's pretty much it. Now we can get our glimmering living wood. That should be 3 pieces. Oh, you know what? I'm going to grab 2 pieces of Terra Steel Nugget. Okay, there we go. And then I'm also going to want a bit of mana to be able to start this up. Now, I will say soon, like once we set up our AE system soon, we are going to be automating mana a bit more, like a bit better. But for right now, I'm just going to pull the mana out of this real quick. And we'll go ahead and say that the mana tablet gives mana to the mana pool. And how much mana does this thing take to activate? Because it's some things about it are different, and I can't remember if this is any different. Because I'm going to go ahead and activate it because it only drains any mana when you craft something. That is the only time that it crafts or it drains mana anymore. So we can activate this and leave it up with no mana being pumped into the system. It's not going to make any effect. And just a substantial amount of mana. And it's divided between all the mana pools. So, I mean, really we can dump it all into like one mana pool if we wanted to. And that would be okay. I'm going to go ahead and just drain this system out, I think. Or like this mana pool, I'm just going to go ahead and drain it out. That's fine. Just so we got a little bit of mana to craft with and stuff like that over there. Because this was like fairly close to a full mana pool. Okay, and then we're going to take our Glimmering Living Wood and just put this up right there. And now we're pretty well set. We just have to throw the pylons on the top of that, and we are done. And I'd say that's probably enough mana, because I think it's only about a half a pool that you actually need. And we've got well over that. So we'll just go ahead and put mana pylon, and click that, and there we go. World Calling achievement. And you can see, yeah, see it drained a little bit. It's actually not even as much as I was expecting, because it's open now. And then we'll go ahead and just throw our Lexica Britannia in, and we get our Elven Guard with all of our elven knowledge in it. There we go. There we go. Okay, now that we've got that, now we can take a look at, refined storage. It's been a long time coming for that portal, I have to tell you. Okay, so first up, what do we want to start with? I'm going to need the quartz enriched iron. Oh, by the way, I almost forgot. Between episodes, like aside from doing bees, I did forget to make quartz enriched iron. I meant to do that between episodes. Like, not a ton of it, but maybe, I don't know, 16 or something, you know, that we would have access to that. But one thing that I did do between episodes, because we had a bunch of gas tiers from when I was out farming gas and stuff like that. This cart right here, I upgraded it to Galgadorian. So that is done. The main thing, it uses up some diamonds, quite a bit of diamonds, but in the mining dimension, it's not too bad to get diamonds. Gas tiers are really the only thing. Also, if you're low on gas tiers, you can use the catalyzing gland. 3 of those makes a gas tier, but honestly, hunting gas down in the nether wasn't that bad. I just kind of did it over the course of, it was a few episodes that I've been gathering up gas tiers, and we have some extra. Not a ton, but we do have some extra. Okay, so what do we want to start with on the controller? I'm thinking going for the Bifrost blocks. Go ahead and knock that part out. And I'm going to have to get this quartz enriched iron crafted. I may have to cut for a little bit. I'm going to have to build up some mana before I do that. But that's fine. So for this, we're going to need Rod of the Bifrost, which is Dragonstone, Pixie Dust, Elementium. Elementium is 2 mana steel each, and Pixie Dust is mana pearl, and Dragonstone is mana diamond. I'm actually probably low on mana all around. I should probably build that up first, shouldn't I? Right now it's still feeding over. But yeah, I don't have a whole lot. I've got, well, you know what? I do have these right here. These will be fine. So, 1, 2, 1, 2. And then it was, let's see. Rod of the Bifrost, 2 Pixie Dust, and 1 Dragonstone. Okay. Just grab that stuff. That was stuff I was going to use to make Terra Steel, but I made that Terra Steel between the episode before last and last episode. We had, I think, like 3 pieces and it ended up being fine. It took us all the way through, so I was okay with that. Because once we get our RS system set up, then we're going to have plenty of mana, and I'm not going to be concerned about mana anymore. Like, I just don't... I'm not big about the Endo Flames. I feel like they're overused way too much. Okay, Rod of the Bifrost. There we go. And then we just need a little bit of Alkglass, which is just Mana Glass, which is... Oh, yeah, it's Greenhouse Glass in this pack. Oh, I forgot about that. But I only need 4 pieces of this. And I think I've got some Mana Glass. Yeah. Well, there you go. 4 pieces. Works out. Works out perfectly. Because that's all I need. Alright, we'll just throw that in there. We'll get our Elf Glass. And then if we take that, combine it with the Rod of the Bifrost, and we get the Bifrost blocks. So there we go. And I'm going to go ahead and put this in our little crafting station that's down here. And that's the first part of our controller done. I will say, like, once you get the controller, like, the rest of it's a lot easier. It's just that controller is the expensive part. I mean, honestly, at this point, it's not really so much expensive. It's just I'm low on mana. Okay, so our Corporea Spark is next. I am going to have to make another Spark. Not a problem. And then we're going to need to get ourselves some Ender Air Bottles, which very easy to get. All we have to do is, let me go grab some... Do I have bottles? I don't think so, and if I do, they're in some weird place, probably. So I'll just grab like 15. Actually, it might be assorted junk. Yeah, there's 5 right here. Oh, by the way, if you want to upgrade the cart, I did forget to mention this as well. There is an upgrade module that you have to make. And I'll show it to you, actually. I've got one sitting over here. But it's the upgrade cart modifier. Allows you to disassemble and modify carts. And you just put that onto your cart assembler. Right-click to open it up, and you can put your cart here. And then whenever you do that, you can disassemble it. Take all the pieces apart, and then you can reassemble it. So, but yeah, see, it keeps bugging out and changing to upgrade batteries, which, I don't know, it's just a visual bug, it looks like, but I don't know. But it's the cart modifier upgrade. It's just a Steve's Carts upgrade that you have to craft. Okay, so I'm going to head over to the Stronghold. I don't have my slime boots on anymore. Which I actually, in some ways, I kind of miss them because I got that super speed boost across the ocean, which was so handy. But that's fine. We're going to get into teleportation in the next couple episodes. And, like, after we finish the RS system, we're going to be doing some teleportation stuff, as well as setting up some environmental tech. Okay, here we go. And all we have to do is just come over here and just right-click the ground. And we get Imitation Air achievement. And we get our Ender Air Bottles. That's simple. I'm going to gather up a little bit more of this Ender Biotite while I'm here, so we'll start needing it. And then I'm gonna cut for a little bit and give me just a little bit to get like our mana built up, at least somewhat, at least like half a pool or something, maybe. Yeah, probably. And then I'll be back once I get that sorted. So, because we are going to need a little bit of mana moving forward, so I'll be back in just a bit. Okay, it's been just a little while. Let's go ahead and get this thing running for the Quartz Enriched Iron now. Do I have Living Rock? I should. Yeah, I've got 12. Okay. 4 iron, 2 Ender Biotite, 2 Elven Quartz. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and make up just a little bit of extra Elven Quartz. I need to put some of this stuff away. My inventory is like steadily getting really bad, my backpack and stuff, but after today, I don't think it's going to matter. Or at least like after next episode. For sure. At the latest. Oh, wait. Whoops, wait a second. We need to get Elven Quartz first. Which means I need to convert this Nether Quartz over into Elven Quartz. Which is very, very simple. Just throw it into the Elven Gateway. And you'll get Elven Quartz out of it. There we go. 20 pieces of that. And this will make us a decent amount of Quartz Enriched Iron. That's going to be something that we're definitely going to have to get automated before too long. So... there we go. That's going to start running. And you'll notice it does require a decent amount of mana to craft this. So that's why I've got mana pools set up around the base. That's why we're going to need a decently substantial mana generation set up. Because we're going to be eating through a lot of mana. And making all that Quartz Enriched Iron to expand our network. And I mean, you can see right here, like, cables alone. 6 Quartz Enriched Iron. I mean, they really made it so that it's very, very expensive. And I think it's because refined storage is actually super easy compared to AE2. But I always go AE2, so I figured, well, we'll go with something a little bit different. And this pack should be able to support refined storage without too much issue. Okay, so then we're going to need 2 dragon stones and a pixie dust, which of course, more elven gateway crafting. And then we're going to also need a spark. Man, my inventory is just shot today. Let me just dump this stuff into here. Oh, and guess what? Our first bit of quartz enriched iron is done. So we'll go ahead and grab that. And we'll get another batch of that running. It used up, let's see, it used up a decent amount of mana. It's not a ton. And this will be a bit faster once we get better spreaders. So, which actually, I think we could probably do now that we have Dreamwood. I'll have to look into that later. Okay, Corporea, Spark. We're going to need Arcane Ashes, Bone Meal, Redstone, Gunpowder, Coal. And at least we already have this infrastructure in place now. Because that definitely makes life a whole lot easier. Oops, I don't need... mana powder is beeswax, bone meal, and coal. And didn't I lay out the yeah, there's the Bifrost blocks. Okay, I also need to put our quartz enriched iron around that. And then give me 1, 2, 3, 4 nuggets. And guess what? Standard spark. And then we can get our Corporea spark. And then we can get our 4 obsidian that we need to make our final spark. Okay. There we go. And there we go. Corporea index, and we got the Packet Hero achievement. And then that, combined with the Bifrost and the quartz, gets us our refined storage controller. Yes! The time has come. The time has come. Okay, now I can't really do anything with this on its own. I mean, I can plug it up and provide power to it, but that's kind of pointless. So what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to get ourselves a screen or grid. I mean, oh man, these machine casings are so expensive. Okay, but we're going to need to get ourselves a solderer first, which is 6 quartz enriched iron and then some sticky pistons. Let me go get some more quartz enriched iron going. Okay, so we got our solderer, and then what I'm going to need to do, I need to get power over here, because like where this market is, yeah, it's not going to stay here. This thing needs to get moved. I'll set it right there for right now. And I want our controller to set right back in here, I do believe. Oh, is that where I want it though? Because I've got a wall right here. Maybe not. Maybe not, in fact. Maybe I want... Well, I'll tell you what. I haven't decided exactly where I want to put the controller. So for right now, for convenience sake, just so we can get started, our controller is going to go right here. Because a lot of the start of this is going to be just setting up anyways. And then the top of this, I'm going to say the top is output power. And there we go. Our controller now has power. And we'll set our solderer right there. I think that should count. Yeah, placing it adjacent to. Okay. So now that we've got that, we need to start working towards disk drives and a grid. Well, honestly, we'll just go for a crafting grid. So let's start with the grid. So we're going to need some improved processors. That is printed improved processor, which is gold. Then we're also going to need printed silicon, which is, looks like it has to be this silicon. It cannot be the AE2 one, or that, not AE2, the Ender IO one. Sometimes they're interchangeable. In this case, they are not. So we are going to have to use the nether quartz route for that, which is fine. Nether quartz isn't an issue at all. And really, I could use crystal grains or make like nether bees, like nether quartz bees. Alright, so I'm going to start with nether quartz. There's 20 of that. It's going to start producing us some silicon. And then we can take our silicon, throw it into there, and that's going to start producing our printed silicon. Okay, now in addition, I'm also going to want to get redstone and then just some gold. I've got to print that out real quick. And then, and then I might as well go ahead and get the stuff. I'm going to need basic processors, which require iron. I'm going to need a few of those as well. Then there's also one that takes diamond, but we don't need that one right this second, so I'm not going to worry about it. Actually, I've got iron up there. Let me grab like a stack of redstone, and let me get... actually, I think I've got some gold in the arc furnace that I want to grab. And I'm going to go ahead and just make the bare necessities that we need to get our grid first. Oh yeah, we're going to need a bunch more of that. Let me go check this real quick. Okay, there's a little bit more. Because we're going to have to do cables and all that stuff soon. But I can also just place this stuff adjacent to each other and it'll transfer. Alright, so there's that. Give me to the gold processors. Oh, and I'm also going to need more iron for like general purpose, making refined or enriched iron as well as making these. Now give me 2 of these. And then we can combine it all together. That. And there we go. We'll start making our processors. And let me go see how this is going. I need a lot more mana. And I also need it automated. And I need better spreaders. But what we're going to do probably is just, because we're going to have a lot of mana gen. Now, the main thing we're going to be using is Gormialis. I did have a question on the last episode about begonias. They're not in the pack. I wish they were in the pack, because we would have so much mana already. Like, begonias are way OP. Kind of glad it's not in the pack, honestly, because it's just too easy. But at the same time, I mean, really, how hard is it to do a Gormialis setup or a Entropenium setup or anything like that? It's really not that difficult. Okay, and then we're going to need a little bit more quartz enriched iron. And then I'm going to need these improved processors. Oh yeah, and then I have to upgrade these to cores, right? Construction core takes glowstone, and this one takes nether quartz. So let's go ahead and get, there's our destruction core, there's our construction core. And then I just need a little bit more quartz enriched iron, and we'll have our grid. Which will allow us to view the items that we currently do not have in that. We have nothing in there at the moment, but we want to view that nothing and make sure all of our nothing is still there. So it's basically the gist of what I'm doing right now. Okay, so we should be all sorted now. There we go. There is our grid. Yay. And then to make it into a crafting grid, which we might as well, takes 1 advanced processor, which is printed advanced processors. Actually, let me throw in that into there. Go ahead and get that running for right now. I'm also going to need some more elven quartz soon. Well, not right this second. It'll still be a little bit. I am starting to get low on quartz, though. I'm going to have to go... mine that stuff up between episodes, but that's fine. I imagine between episodes I'm going to be doing a lot of refined storage, resource building up kind of stuff. Oh, I want speed upgrades. What does it take to make speed upgrades? Sugar, redstone, and upgrades, which, not yet. Not yet. I don't like that. I don't like all that quartz enriched iron that I see. It'll get easier once we get automation in place, but right now it's not so easy. Okay, let me go check on this. I am going to have to make a bunch more living rock between episodes. You can already tell. Okay, so there's our advanced processor. And, oh, wait. Well, actually I need wood, don't I? Let me go grab a couple pieces of that, because we might as well go ahead and upgrade it to a crafting grid. There's really no point in leaving it as just a standard grid. So, grid, crafting table, advanced processor, and that's going to start running and getting us our crafting grid. Okay, so now while that's running, let's see, let's go ahead then and turn our attention towards the disk drive. This is going to take another advanced processor, a machine casing, and a chest. Okay, so I'll just throw that in there for right now. Oh, in this crafting grid, we can put this, we'll set it up like right there for right now. And you can see we have a whopping no items. Now, if I did like an external storage, it's not too bad. A little bit expensive, but I've got to figure out, between episodes, I've got to figure out exactly where I'm going to put this, so then we can run our stuff over to the drawer controller and plug that up. So we'll have access to our entire drawer network. But my main goal today is to get rid of these chests. I don't like chests, particularly. And I want to get rid of all of them. And then while we're waiting, let's take a look at the 1K storage. We're going to need a lot of silicon for that. So I think... It doesn't have to be... No, it doesn't have to be light blue. Okay. Do I want to go with the Ender IO silicon? Okay, I'll tell you what. I've got some double compressed sand. Not much. But that's fine because we can set up a easy sand gen whenever we get around to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the... Right here. Sag meal... Let's go ahead and set this to disable on that side. There we go. Got a lag spike. And we'll throw that in there with our flint. I guess you can't use flint in this. Or... maybe that's not a thing in this pack. Maybe you have to use just dark steel balls, perhaps. Okay, no, maybe it's like 1 flint per item, I'm almost thinking. Maybe that's what it is, but... Alright, so anyways, our advanced processor's done, so that, and then we need 1 more of those machine frames. Or machine casings, I mean. We'll throw that in there, and that's going to start running. And then for our... That'll be our disk drive. And then what we need is just storage parts. So glass, redstone, and quartz enriched iron for 1Ks. Each of those stores, of course, 1,000 items. So they do go pretty far, and then we can use manipulators later on to upgrade. So I think what I'm going to do is, the first one we make, I'm going to go for like a 4K. So 3 1Ks to get a 4K. It's not terribly expensive. That's 4,000 items that can go in that. I think that'll be alright for us. So, I don't need, for the 1Ks, I don't need anything but, okay, just silicon, redstone. Okay. Alright, so there's our disk drive, and go ahead and make me, well, actually, I'll tell you what, go ahead and make me like 16. Make me 16 of those little processors. And then we'll stick our disk manipulator right there, or, I mean, disk drive. And then how's this coming along? Oh, it takes forever to process that stuff without a capacitor in it. That double compressed sand. Let's see, and then in addition, we are going to need to get ourselves glass, which I should have. And I think just 9 will do it. Yep, and then just some redstone really is all that we need. Which, it just so happens I have redstone bees, so we'll just take that redstone. Oh, I actually had redstone on me. Yeah, so really I'm just waiting on the silicone from that sag mill right here. There we go. See, a single one of those produces a ton of silicone. It really, really does. Okay, and so then we can get our 1K storage parts. And then we can get our 4K once we get our processors done. Alright, so make me like, I don't know, like 8 of those for right now. I don't need that many, I just need like 4. But oh yeah, and then we're going to have to upgrade it to a actual storage drive, right? Which is just a little bit of quartz enriched iron and some glass. So let me go check on this, which I need more elven quartz, but that's the last of it. Which I also need more living rock and all that, but we'll be okay for right now. Really, I could go ahead and make like 2 4Ks, which would be 8,000 storage. I don't know. No, I'm just gonna wait. The nice thing about refined storage that I do like, that I really, really like, that I don't care about as much for AE2, is it doesn't have the item limit and it doesn't have the scaling storage usage. So if you have a 4K, it's 1 point, like 1 storage out of 4,000 per item, you know, regardless of what that is. Whereas like AE2, it scales up like the more different types of items you have and stuff like that. That's the one thing about AE2 that drives me insane. The only thing. Alright, so then we just need, do we have to have quite clear glass? No, it can just be any kind of glass. And then our 4K storage disk. And then once this one's filled, I'll just make another. That's fine. And we'll just dump it into there, and there we go. We have 4K storage. And now what we can do is all this stuff, just throw it into there. And quartz enriched iron, throw it into there. Ender air bottles, throw it into there. I'm not going to throw the metals in there because they actually go into storage drawers. And honestly, that ender biotite does too. And the redstone. Most of what I was throwing in there actually goes into a storage drawer. But then what I can do is let me tell you what, let me grab a chest, a temporary chest. Well, actually, I'll just use this chest over here. That sounds good. And what I'm going to do is, let me dump all my inventory out into there. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to switch all these things. And we'll just see what we can dump into there. Pretty much nothing at the moment. And I'll just dump all this stuff into there too. Okay, so that's like my actual inventory stuff that I was using at the time. And then I can take all this stuff and just start dumping it into the system. Oh wait, some of this stuff I have to make sure and right click this, because like solidified XP and all, like actually quite a bit of stuff right there just went into there. Just somebody, I'm not going to say who, somebody didn't sort it appropriately, and it just kind of ended up in like a catch-all. So, oh, I got to watch out because I don't have my angelic feather on. Which, I'm dumping all these tools into here. We're probably going to do something a little bit different with tools a bit later. But for right now, this will be good. Just to get this stuff up off the ground and out of the way. And we can say goodbye to this whole room of mess. We can say goodbye to all of this. Which, I mean, it's actually fairly... This room is fairly organized, but... and I guess I'm just going to dump all this stuff into there, too. Because I end up using that stuff later, so I don't mind, like, throwing it into here. Because then later, whenever I'm using those same blocks... Because, you know, we're using a lot of the same blocks with this build. So a bit later, whenever I need that, it's there. And it's accessible to me. So you take all of this stuff... And currently we are 878. I probably will end up having to make another storage disk. Chances are, but we do have the stuff on hand for that, so it's not really a big concern if I have to make more. Main thing was getting that infrastructure in there to start with. So that was the most important part. So anyways, I know it's about wrapping up point for this episode, so I am going to end it out here. I'm very happy with where we're at because we have access to refined storage now, which is awesome. Let me set this to quantity. Okay, it is set to quantity already. But then next episode we'll get into a bit more elaborate stuff. We'll start maybe some automation. We'll plug it up to our drawer system so that we have access to all of those items, which is definitely going to help. And the best thing is, like, if we're looking for something, we can just search for it now instead of having to go through chests and lose stuff in inventories, stuff like that. I can just, you know, like if I want to find, like, for example, Ender Pulsar, there we go, there's Ender. And if I want to be more specific, there's Ender Pulsar, you know. So it's definitely going to make life a whole lot easier moving forward just to have that aspect, and then we'll be able to start the automation side of things, which is going to help a lot too. Which actually, I guess I should make chest movers and just bring the chests up here. It'd be a lot quicker than running this down over time. So, yeah, I'll do that. And I'll get everything, all these chests dumped, and all these, like, random chests around the base, they're going to be cleaned up. And we can also get, like, a wireless crafting grid probably next episode so that we have that. And so that we can wirelessly access our system, like, anywhere, anytime. Which will help a lot as well, but... Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you did, as always, be sure and hit that like button. I didn't craft chest mover, that's fine. But be sure to hit that like button and go ahead and subscribe if you're not already to stay updated with when new videos come out. And I hope to see you guys next time. And next episode is going to be a whole lot easier, like basically major quality of life upgrades. We're also probably going to get into a little bit of auto farming and maybe start automating some real mana generation, which is going to be great because we're going to need that for really expanding on our system. But I'm going to prep up some quartz enriched iron between episodes and figure out where I want to set up the system, maybe start decorating around it and all that good stuff. So anyways, I hope to see you guys next time. Until then, as always, do take care, stay safe, and I'll see you guys then.